And I will officially welcome you to the fourth quarterly meeting of the consortium. I'm really glad that everyone is here. We are going to start. We're going to start today with committee and partner updates. We have a couple board updates, announcements, and really just highlighting our ACEs and Resilience Summit. And there's a few more events and things that we have at the beginning of 2025 that we really wanted to let you all know about and be aware of. So let me just see if we have some of our committee members that are going to be here. They're here. Sorry, as you're watching my. Okay, we can go ahead and get that started. So our trauma sensitive schools group, and that meets on the first Wednesday of every month virtually. We have our next meeting is December. I wrote every other meeting down like time date wise, except this one is December 4th at 4 p.m. And the presenter for that is the Southern Arizona AIDS Foundation. They are presenting an LGBTQ plus 101 training. She says this is a great opportunity for anyone who would like to learn more about history, terminology, and best practices when supporting youth. For those interested, you can register online. They are taking a break for January because that meeting falls on January 1st. Ain't nobody need to work on January 1st, right? They will reconvene on February 5th. So if you have any questions, you can outreach Jennifer Blau, and I'll put her email in the chat as well. And if you're interested in presenting, so we talk about our committee pages. All of our committees have their own page on our website, and that is where we put recordings if they are available. We put meeting minutes, we put PDFs, those things. I do want to highlight the fact that this last meeting, Joshua Stegmeyer from Arizona Department of Health Services was presenting on some of the suicide prevention efforts that the state of Arizona does and some of the new data that has been coming out. So here in Arizona, what we have seen is that we have a very high completed suicide rate for educators, and that is both for male and female. When they did the fatality review, they do it by one of the things they do is by occupation. And this was completely like anomalous to Arizona. So the other states in the United States are not seeing the rise in educator suicide deaths that we are specific here to Arizona. It was in top 5 for the occupations for both males and females. And so Joshua did a really great job presenting some of that new data and some of the stuff that they are doing prevention-wise for youth in our schools. That is up on that work group page. And he also has his slides there. So he has all of the data slides that are there also. So just kind of wanted to bring your attention to that group page. In the chat, I put the link to register for the schools group and also Jennifer's email if you would like to email her. Renee is not here yet, so I will move to Sabrina. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for being here. I know that it is a crazy time in everybody's world right now, right? So I am the chair for the communications committee. I don't have any specific updates. We continue to create the newsletter and add some information around AZTIFC, around self-care, around the maybe awareness of maybe prevention of bully or suicide and stuff. We add that to our web pages or all of our social media. So Instagram, Facebook. We haven't done too much on YouTube or Twitter, but if you don't follow us or subscribe to us, please do. We are looking to trying to this year get a little bit more interaction with our social media. So I think Angie at the end of this presentation will share all of that and how you can follow and subscribe. We are always looking for new committee members to continue to work on the newsletter. We do meet every other month, and we meet to discuss our newsletter and putting it together. It is on the third Wednesday of every other month, and we meet around that 11 to 12 o'clock hour on that time. So if you are interested, I can put my information in the chat as well. And we might also be interested in connecting with your agency on an agency spotlight. Our newsletter has an agency spotlight every by month. So if there is something that you want to share, announcements to go into that, please reach out to me directly. We can get that on our newsletter as well.
Thank you, Sabrina. We do send her newsletter out, the newsletter out every other month, like Sabrina said, and then we also have it uploaded on their work group page as the whole entire PDF. So of course, when we send them out an email, we need to like break up all of that content and make it, you know, a readable email. But we always have the link to that PDF of that newsletter that has all of her links that they put in there as well. The amount of information they are able to kind of pack in and link in is really great. So even all the past newsletters are going to be on her work group page as well. So thank you for all that help. We do have at the end of the slideshow also our social media page, but I can actually put that in the chat right now. azaces.org/social. This, I thought it was just easiest if I just made one web page. It has all of our social media links on there. So you have the direct link to, we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which does not get used very much, but it's there, LinkedIn. And then our YouTube channel has, we have a couple different podcasts. They're video podcasts, but the playlists that are on our YouTube page, and then plus our past meetings as well, and some other trainings that we have are all on our YouTube page. So we have a resilient educator playlist, and we have a trauma-informed trainer one as well that has extra information specifically to our trainers. So Sandy is unable to be here today as her mother is sick. So I will do her report for our fall training of the trainer. In September, October, we had 33 who completed the trainer of trainer. We have a new trainer manual. So for those of you who are certified trainers and have been trained anytime before this last fall training, we do have a new manual. If you would like to purchase it, I can put the link in the chat. It's $20. It just covers the printing, but we cover the mailing for that too. I wanted to make it affordable, but also be able to cover some of the expenses to it. It has an updated trainer toolkit edition, and it has the like tabbed dividers in between each of the presentations. So we tried to make it a little bit more user friendly this time. They just had their community practice for certified trainers on October 23rd and did a mini conference style. The topics were neuroscience and epigenetics, foundations of healing-centered approach, building trainer regulation and resilience, tips and tools for creating connections, bringing fun and joy to their trainings. All of those breakout sessions were recorded, and we will eventually be able to put them on the YouTube channel for our certified trainers as well. She wanted to give a huge thank you to our subject matter experts and veteran ACES trainers, Jill Stam, Michelle Sobrano, Paula Obed, Jeremiah Kaplan, and Tatiana Lankar for running those breakout rooms and sharing their wisdom. And she also says, finally, a special recognition and thank you to the ACES training work group members for your patience, presence, and grace this year. Andrea Scully, Athena Garcia, Christine Carlson, the Reverend Dr. Sang Hoon Yu, inside joke, Jeremiah Kaplan, Jill Stam, Karen Johnson, Maria Rodriguez, Michelle Sobrano, Patsy Rathor Larson, Paula Abed, Quilandra Hudgens, Renee Redday, Shayla Pape, and Tatiana Lakar. So thank you all for all of that, all of the work that you all have done for us and for all of our trainers. The support for our trainers has really been great. Yeah, so thank you. Sang Hoon is driving, so I am going to do Satin's update. For those of you who are in Southern Arizona, the Southern Arizona Trauma Informed Network, Alice is not able to make it this morning, but she wanted to let you all know that they're going through some leadership changes. So if you are in Southern Arizona and you're interested in helping keep the monthly trainings going, you can contact Alice and the team, and I will put that link in the chat as well. One second, let me get all these links. Alice and the team. So if you're interested in helping them keep the momentum and those monthly trainings going in Southern Arizona, they primarily serve Pima County, but they are all over Southern Arizona, and they're really have been instrumental in also helping us do some of the regional watch parties for our summit. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. She says they are working to build out the free training calendar for next year. If anyone has a suggested presenter, they can also email that email address that I just put in there. They're looking for presentations that discuss trauma and where it intersects with different populations, communities, and presentations about building resilience and more trauma responsive communities. She said presenters volunteer their time for the presentation, but often reach a wide audience in Southern Arizona, nationally and internationally, and can make great connections for future training opportunities. So if you have presentations, if you would like to be trainings, I think all of their trainings that they do are all virtual. So you don't have to be in Southern Arizona to do the presentation for them. So if you are interested in that, you can reach out to Alice and the team at the email in the chat. So, Sang Hoon, are you able to talk? Have you made it?
Well, I'm still in the car, but I can talk, and I put my material in the chat. Can you see that?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Hello, everyone. I apologize. Yeah, the world is crazy, but I'm more crazier. So sorry about that. But I heard Angie's inside the joke. I liked it. Thank you. Well. Also, I apologize that our interface committee, which is on the website, is not correct because actually I'm present report here as an interface committee, but also Arizona Shaman from the Faith Coalition, and partnering with together, and then we were doing the Weave and Cleave movement. So I'm gonna just point everything together here, because pretty much same core people are gonna work together. And with that, I just put some kind of a note that what's going on with our committee and the movement. together. Um, this Saturday, community belonging Hispanic community, and so we have a trained that our trauma informed care and the community belonging training about 100 Hispanic Christian pastors and the leaders, and out of that, 10 churches actually got award from our organization and Maricopa County Department of Public Health, and then now we are going more higher level. So once they are trained, we work with each organization's cultural transformation to be trauma informed. So this gonna be the first time and coming the leaders together, and my buddy Pastor Obed. He and I gonna lead it, and he translated all the training to the Spanish. So we're very, very grateful for that. And the community belonging training is actually 6 hours training. And we also have an online training, and people are coming in there too. The main thing is that the training is not the end, actually just the beginning, because after the training, how we're gonna do the journey together with a leadership group, that's more important. So 6 hours kind of a long, so we can split in many hours. However, after it's done, of course, some people don't want to do it anymore. And we have a ACEs taught like a 20 minutes version. Yeah. However, there are also many organizations who are gonna continue the journey to seek that the cultural change. And this is a basic training, January 11th, and the YouTube link is about our project, about 5-minute video, and what is the community belonging project. In a Bethel, in a Chandler, there's a church mental health conference, Saturday, February 1st. So that's a Christian church event for the mental health. I'm part of the speaker, and we have a Pastor Dan Stephan and Pastor Jeff Feldman, and who worked a lot for the foster care system, and he made a great book, The Soul Care. So now he's a associate pastor there in the church. So he does great work for the mental health addiction and trauma informed care and discipleship there. Restore 2025 conference. This is a national conference. I don't know. Many people know Julie Royce. She did a report, a lot of a church trauma, religious trauma, and this is national conference coming to our town, Phoenix. I didn't put the place, but you can go to the website, and it's gonna be held in Church of the Nazarene in Chandler, February 2nd, 7th, and 8th. It's gonna be the 2-day conference. There are Diane Langberg and the amazing national speakers coming for the conference. And fortunately, I'm a part of the speaker group, and they have a pre-conference working with a full seminary with their marriage and family therapy counseling program. So pre-conference for the social workers, counselors, or pastors. So this is a very wonderful um, a conference, and well, actually, because of, it's really talking about the religious trauma. Yeah, ironically, we are not welcomed by in churches in a certain degree, of course. But this is a very tough work, and yeah, you can check it out the website. And community belonging interfaith breakfast last year, actually it's not last year, this year February, ACES Consortium actually co-sponsored, so with the county public health and governor's office, and co-sponsoring this event together. We had a great event, breakfast event, and next year we also gonna have another event, February 13th. And I'm still lining up the speakers and presenters, and one of them will be the CEO of First Things First, Melissa Golik. I think he can also join our breakfast as well as the governor's office and ACES Consortium. It's gonna be First Christian Church of Phoenix, February 13th, Thursday. And then another belonging workshop gonna happen 2 days after in at the sorry at uh the church in the Ascended Church in Ascended Church in Tempe. And well, the major thing is that the Weave and Cleave conference, again, also this is the event. ACES Consortium has been a big sponsor, as well as governor's office. We have about yeah, quite a few sponsors, and it's an in-person conference. Weave and Cleave, April 23rd. Um, we usually have about 300 people coming, and then we have all faith and all sectors coming together. And yeah, it's good lineup. Last year we had about 5 national speakers and 30 um, local. Many of them are actually national speakers, including Jeremiah and Dr. Bob Roten, and Marsha Stetton in working with me to coordinate this conference. So hopefully you guys can join this, and I believe the ACES Consortium also going to sponsor again, and also hopefully we have a table exhibitor there. We have about 32 exhibitors in the conference. So that's kind of in my head this morning while I'm driving. So that's about it. And if you have any questions, please email me and yeah, let me know. Thank you, Angie.
Thank you, Sing Hoon, and get wherever you're going safely. He does
Thank
have
you.
all of the links in the chat, and then as soon as the registration's open for those, and he has information, we always do send it out on through email as well. So the conferences and the breakfast are really, you know, something special to go to, even if faith is organized faith is not necessarily your thing. Yeah, they just have really special events. So that is all of our committee and partner updates. We have one board update, and that is that we have 2 open seats on our board. So unfortunately, Dr. Argawal, our pediatrician, had to step down because if anybody has met a pediatrician, they are just incredibly busy all the time. And so as much as he wanted to make our board meetings, it was not feasible for him. And so we have 2 open spots. We are looking specifically for people that have experience in fundraising, business development experience, or medical professional pieces to that. So we have a board recruitment packet that just kind of gives more information of what it is like to be a board member, what we expect of board members. Our board actually meets quarterly at this point for 2 hours, so 2 hours every few months. And there's also an application that goes with. So with the follow-up after this meeting, I will be sending that out. So if you are interested in applying for a board position with the consortium, or if you know somebody that you would just like to pass that information along to, we would love your assistance in that. The consortium, if you've been here for a while, we've gone through a lot of transition, right? We went from being solely a volunteer organization to becoming our own 501c3 in 2019. And 2019 wasn't that long ago. And in the last 5 years, we went from the board doing all of the work to having full-time staff and the board being more of a support and really that larger, broader look at where do we go in the future, and what does this look like to us in the future. And really, they've been amazing support for us as we have grown. So we are looking for 2 spots, and we will send that information out after this meeting. So our big thing right now is that we have our 11th annual ACEs and Resilience Summit coming up. It is the week of December 9th, so December 9th through the 12th. We have the Resilient Schools Conference is on Monday, December 9th. The medical professional is December 10th. And then our summit is the 11th and the 12th. This is a new flyer that will be going out today and specific for you all as members of the consortium and for attending our quarterly meeting. I have a $50 discount code that I am putting in the chat for you all. That makes registration $100 for the full 4 days. The registration link is in there. There's also a link on that page that you can go to the agenda, which has all of the breakout descriptions and all of those pieces. There are still a couple of them that we are waiting on specifically for our Resilient School Conference, as far as just a description of what they are doing. But we will have that by the beginning of next week, I'm hoping, for it. But the rest of the agenda is all set with the descriptions that are in there. One of the new things we have this year, and we're super excited for, is we have 4 in-person watch parties on the last day of the summit. This is in partnership with Banner Health, and we are so thankful for their partnership in this. But we have watch parties in San Luis, which is in Yuma County, Sierra Vista, in Cochise, Safford, which is in Graham County, and then in Queen Creek. Those can be registered for separately. They're $49 just for that one day, or you can attend with a full summit registration as well. So with that, with the discount code that I just put in the chat, that would make it $100 for all 4 days. And you'd also be able to attend one of the in-person watch parties if that is in your area. The last day of the summit, so this one that has the in-person pieces, is really focused on community resilience building. Our morning keynote that morning is Kate Stewart. She is a self-healing communities trainer and did a lot of training and community building in rural Oregon. For those of you who are familiar with rural Oregon, they're pretty similar to Arizona rural populations. And she is going to give a presentation on the lessons learned of doing the training on the self-healing community. So if you're not familiar with self-healing communities, it was training created by Laura Porter and Dr. Robert Anda. So we know that Dr. Robert Anda is one of the principal investigators from the ACEs study. And they really worked with communities to look at what are our strengths and our assets, and how do we build community resilience. So she will be discussing the lessons learned that morning. And then we will have a community cafe. If you are on site and in person, that's not something you'll watch virtually. That's something that you all will do in person together with your moderators. If you are attending the virtual component, we will do breakout sessions and really identify ways that how do we build resilience within our own community. And I use community in a way that I'm not talking about just physical geographic location, right? Community is so much more than that. It can be our work community. It can be our family community. It can be, whatever that community, right, looks like, of how do we build resilience? What are some of the things that we can do for us, right? As we are just trying to make it through these days. Our closing keynote is John Richardson Love. He is from Virginia, from St. Joseph's Villa, and he is doing a presentation on workforce resilience, help for the helpers. So really looking at how do we do this for ourselves, right? What are some of the ways that we can help direct service providers and those of us that are working with the community to build resilience for ourselves. And then our opening keynote for the summit is Thomas Hubel. So if you were familiar with him, he is the author of Attuned. He does collective resilience work, really looking at what does collective healing look like? How does historical trauma and intergenerational trauma impact us, and how do we build resilience in that kind of collective space? We are also offering group discounts. So if you are an organization, you have, or just even your, your workplace and your coworkers, if you have 5 people you'd like to register for your organization, we're charging $100 per person. If you have more than 5 employees that you would like to register, please email me. And we can work on a pricing for that. So I'm putting my email in the chat in case you don't have it, to reach out to me for those specific pieces. And again, I put the code in the chat for the $50 off that full registration. Are there any questions on our summit, on the watch parties, like what that looks like? Adrian, I see in the chat asking when the session descriptions for the summit is posted. The vast majority of them are up there. I just added 2 more this morning. And I think with the agenda page, you actually have to click on the subsessions. And then when you open that, then you click on the subsession itself, that will open up what the description for each one is. Okay. We look forward to seeing you there. So our upcoming trainings and events, we have our educator community of practice. This is open to all educators. You do not have to even be in the state of Arizona, but we are going to discuss Trauma Informed Gone Wild. It is a handout we have created from all of the work we've been doing the last couple of years in the schools, of really the trauma informed, like, do's and don'ts, what trauma informed is, what it isn't. So that community of practice is open for anyone. There is no cost to it. I am putting the registration link in the chat for you all if you are interested. We did just talk about the summit. In 2025, which I cannot believe it's almost 2025, we have a Resilience Empowerment Project Trainer of Trainer info session. So we received a grant from Vitalist Health Foundation to expand our Resilience Empowerment Project training across the state of Arizona. This is specifically for people outside of Maricopa County. So if this is the first time attending a consortium meeting and you're like, what is the Resilience Empowerment Project? That is the work that we have been doing in schools with community organizations and youth for the last 2.5 years. This curriculum, we have specific curriculum. It's a 3-year program for schools. It's 12 hours of training for the first year, 8 hours for the second, 4 hours for the third. It's a whole program for the schools. Our youth training is 3 sessions, an hour a piece, approximately. We have training specifically for community organizations, which is 6 trainings. Altogether, it's about 40 hours worth of curriculum that we have for looking at the full entire community picture, right? All of those pieces that go within the community, whether it's parents, the youth, the organizations that serve them, the organizations that serve schools, right? And then the schools themselves. In looking at what does it look like to expand across Arizona, one of the one of the proposals we gave Vitalist was to do this Resilience Empowerment Project training of the trainers. So we have space for 1 to 2 people per county outside of Maricopa County. So every county in the state of Arizona, except Maricopa County, because we're really looking at expanding this outside of Maricopa. We have a scholarship to it to be able to participate in the Resilience Empowerment Project training of trainers. That spot, you would have to commit to the training, and we are really looking for people who are already doing work within your community. So you're already doing some trainings within your community, you're already connected to community organizations, and you're already connected to schools, that you are able to train a cohort of your own, of 5 to 10 people in each in each county. So that information session is January 14th at 9 a.m. There is a application and thing that will be going with it, and I'll have more explanation the middle of January, but I wanted to really kind of announce this. If you are interested, if you know people outside of Maricopa County that you think that this would be a great fit, please share that information with them. And then our winter 25 session for ACES training of the trainer is coming up on Tuesdays, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. like it has been, February 4th to March 4th. And then we have our 2025 quarterly meetings. So just as they have always been, they are on the third Thursday at 9 a.m. Quarterly. If you would like to register for that, please put that in the chat. Virginia just asked if I have a flyer. That's a good idea. I don't have that yet, but as soon as I get that out, I will, I'll send it to you, Virginia. I'll send that. All right. Well, I've already shared our social media page, but now I want to open it up to you all to share the great work that you are doing and any information you would like to share with all of our members. We do share the links that you all share with us also in our follow-up emails. What's going on across this state?
Hi, Angie. This is Sarah down
Sarah.
in Tucson. I'm at the Children's Advocacy Center down here. And first of all, very excited that the info session is coming up for the TOT. I know I've been bugging you about that for a while. We're looking forward to bringing that down to Pima. We just finished a series. I just finished a series on ACEs and Resilience, a training series. We were very excited about that. We did a couple showings of the resilience film, which we love to show down here, and the ACEs and toxic stress presentation and trauma-informed care. And it went really well. Got a good reception, about 50 people per training. So we're looking at repeating that series again in the spring. I already have the dates for that, and I can send the flyer if you want to send it out. It's all virtuals, but we have mostly people here local that are attending those. Very excited to be getting this information out as more as we can. And that's it. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Sarah. I love hearing about the work that y'all are doing down there. Nobody else is doing anything across this whole state? Patsy.
Oh, hang on. Hello, everyone. Thank you.
Hello.
I just wanted to let folks know if you have any connections to the early childhood field. I'm with the Arizona Department of Ed, and I am part of the early childhood team in academic standards. And I am providing some trainings on ACEs as just part of our professional development that we offer. So if anybody wants more information on that, I'd be happy to share it. These trainings are free. I provided one on a Saturday morning virtual. You know, we have flexibility. We can do evenings, weekends. We can actually, if a school requests one, we can work with the school to bring the training to the whole school if they want. So yeah. And even if we will do training, if a school requests a training, it doesn't just have to be their preschool staff. We could do it for the whole school if so requested. But so that's something that we are offering, as well as the Strengthening Families Protective Factors trainings. So
Thank you, Patsy.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen you. It's nice to see your face.
Morning, Angie. I will share.
Thank you, Leslie.
Good morning, everyone. It has been an absolute joy in my role as Director of Resilient Schools for the Pima County School Superintendent's Office to facilitate a national sustaining resilience community of practice. And within this national group, we have change makers who are really doing some fantastic thing at the state level, sometimes at a tri-state level. And so we brought them all together in this space to share. And so what we're doing is we're connecting, but we're also taking and synthesizing some of this to bring it back into our state. But another kind of offshoot of this that has happened is that we're doing some spotlights on the work that these people are doing. And so these people are all working in the fields of, it's mostly education, some of it's higher ed, but they're all working on bringing in trauma responsive practices, on social emotional skill building, restorative practices, all of those things. And so, and they're really trying to make it happen at the higher ed level, preparing our new teachers, things like that. So we have a couple upcoming spotlight initiatives, and I'll put the link in the chat. These are virtual. They're free for anybody to join, and they're only a half an hour. They're on Mondays from 1:30 to 2. And so I would love to have any of you join us. Let me see if I can get that. Oh, it's too long. Okay. I will get it posted in 2 separate little blurbs because it's not letting me post the whole thing. So I'll do it in 2 parts, hopefully here. All right. Yeah, there's the first one. So the first one is actually this Monday coming up, and it's actually a local. We have one of the professors from U of A who's doing some great work in educator wellness. And then the next one will be the National SEL director, and he will be sharing, and that will, I think it's on December 9th. So I'll get that one put in the chat as well.
Awesome.
So love to have any of you there if you can pop in for just half an hour.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
And Patsy did add her email into the chat if anyone wants to reach out to her directly. Ben has put in the chat, sorry, her mic isn't working well. It's all right. She is from ADHS. The Arizona Youth Risk Behavior Survey is coming up in spring 2025. Hold on, I lost the chat. With several schools randomly selected to participate, this completely anonymous survey gathers insights into youth mental health, experiences like ACEs and PCEs, and more directly from high school students in Arizona. She would appreciate any insights on how to engage schools and parents to encourage participation. And then she put the website, the dhs.gov/YRBS in there. So if you have anything specific for her on reaching into schools, it does the Parents' Bill of Rights that was passed a couple years ago in our state legislature has made it just more difficult, more hoops to jump through when it comes to surveying our youth. And we have seen that it has just been harder to actually get into the schools to be able to do that. And so Ben is just asking if you have any advice, assistance that you can help with. Maybe you have a school that you work real close with that you know would be that would be willing and open to do that. Please reach out to Ben. Mike Gaffney from PBS put in the chat that first thing first, college scholarships for early childhood professionals are open for spring 2025 semester, and put the links in there. And then Jill added her email, Jill Stam added her email address. If anyone is interested in linking ACEs with Dr. Bruce Perry's neurosequential model in caregiving. So that information is in there. Any other new business?
Angie, I just wanted
Yeah.
to say, I just realized I made a typo in my email. So I'm going to put my email in the chat again because what I typed in was wrong. So please ignore the last email. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, I feel that in my soul right there, Patsy, in my soul. Virginia.
Angie, I can just do a quick update that our system change symposium was a large success. We're continuing to work with the City of Flagstaff to help them weave in trauma-informed policy into their system. We're really excited about that. Thank you, Angie, for your help with that project as well, and being a volunteer on that. I'll put a link to our webinars in case anyone wants to use it. We know we've been actively engaged as well as sharing the information about all of our trauma-informed webinars we have. We've gotten to where agencies are using it as advanced training for their staff, onboarding training. We've recently learned that an organization in Alaska has found us and is using it. So we're excited. So it is a resource. It's completely free. So I'll just throw that in the chat as at this time of year, we're really sharing information about that. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. And Virginia is with the Coconino Coalition for Youth and Family, if you were not sure. Sure, where Virginia is located. Thank you, Virginia. Anyone else? Any other new business that we'd like to share with our members, make some connections?
Angie, I'll just add, I forgot to mention, so what I meant to say was we're really good about getting organizations to do this for staff training. Our outreach right now is also for families. So if you have families you're working with, I mean, even your cousin, your aunt, folks you work with, etc., we're trying to get this information into the hands of our community members as well. So there's a 30-minute one on there that's designed to be really quick and an open door to grab the attention of caregivers and adults who care about young people in our community. So thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Virginia. Yeah, reaching out into the community is increasingly difficult. I love that we have different ways that we can do that. Anyone else? If you are still typing, continue to type. I do want to thank everybody for coming and being with us this morning and really just sharing. I'm sorry that our presenter was not able to make it this time of the year, and the amount of sickness that I know that is going around right now. I'm just appreciative for all of you, all of the work that you do in our state and all around. I look forward to seeing everyone at the summit. We will send out all of this information after this, and I really hope everybody has a great rest of the year. Thank you all.